my monster that's quite the looker. Relinquished.
What's up YouTube? Today I'll be talking about how to create one of the best PvP decks in the game to get you to the rank of not silver, not gold, not platinum, but the rank of King of Games. Your opponent's relinquished may have been hard to fight in the past, but I'll show you how to crush those types of decks and others in this video. Let's do it! So let's first go through how to build the deck. I use a dinosaur themed deck, but with several modifications that give it the edge in the current meta. The key cards are of course our dinos, the two-headed King Rex, Crawling Dragon number 2, and Element Saurus. You have to use Rex's skill, Dinosaur Kingdom, to increase their attack. Some versions of this deck use fusions, but those are a waste of cards in my opinion. The other key cards to include are Hane-Hane, you'll see why later, Wall, and definitely Trap Jammers. Let's jump into a PvP game to see how to use this deck.
Duel.
So the main goal of the dinosaur deck is pretty much to overwhelm your opponent with high attack monsters and take down their life points as fast as possible. What we want to make sure to do with our dino deck in PvP is to make very efficient trades. That is, we want our opponent to use many cards to try and stop our dinos, and we want to use as few cards as possible to stop their counter against our dinosaurs. So as you can see, the best moves usually are to just summon your cards face up in attack mode so that there are no other monsters that can destroy it. Here in this PvP match, it looks like our opponent is using a relinquished deck, and although this has previously been a nightmare for most dino decks, I think that there is a way that we can actually defeat it using the modifications of the deck that I've constructed. So this guy got pretty lucky. He managed to summon relinquished in his very second turn, and so with this on the field, he's able to take control of our first dino and attack our field directly. Even worse, he's able to get rid of our Shard of Greed, and that's very necessary for us to try and draw more cards. So we're already at quite a disadvantage at the beginning of the duel. So it seems like with a hand with only monsters, we might be at a loss and there's no way that we're going to win. But what I've tried here is that I would put all my dinos in defense position so that the Pegasus player won't be able to take control of it and attack my field directly. He has to instead attack the defense position monsters. And as I'm doing this, I'm just stalling to wait for better cards. As you can see, a Michizure here is very helpful as it can help me kill the relinquished. So my opponent actually didn't attack me this turn, but a lot of the time it's because they actually have a Kuriboh in their hand and they're waiting for us to attack them. And so what they're trying to do is to have us attack them so that he can start controlling our monsters in attack position. So given that I can summon 2 dinos, I feel like I was trying to overwhelm his Relinquished and take him down. Unfortunately, of course, he had the Kuriboh in his hand and stopped me from doing that. So here my opponent does a tribute set, and it's a level 7 or higher monster that he's set on the field in defense position. But at this point, that doesn't concern me right now. What I'm worried about most is trying to get rid of his Relinquish, because that's the card that can take me down and win this duel against me. So I've drawn another Dino, and I tried to overwhelm his Relinquish again, and thankfully this time he doesn't have cards to stop me from doing so. And so finally I'm able to get rid of his Relinquished. So here we draw another very key card in this deck, Order to Charge. Because we have so many normal type monsters, this can help us destroy much stronger monsters by just sacrificing one of our weaker monsters. Again, we realized that there was a set level 7 or higher monster that we still need to get rid of, and we're definitely not going to attack into it. So with Order to Charge, this makes this much easier. So once we've cleared out that monster, which happened to be a Blue Eyes White Dragon, we just attack directly and bring Pegasus's life points to 0, and we win that King of Games duel. Alright, now let's move on to another PvP match, this time against an Umi-based deck. Here again, the principles are the same. We just want to get as much brute force as we can on the field and make sure that we can keep our monsters alive and just keep hacking away at our opponent's field. So here, our opponent tribute sets a monster in defense position. In this case, it's most likely that it is Suijin, given that it is an Umi-based deck. So we have to be careful. We're definitely not going to attack it head on. Again, we have the Order to Charge, which is such a useful card. We just have to use it, and we can sacrifice one of our dinosaurs to destroy such a strong monster on the field. Right, and now we draw a normal type Dino. Again, it's important to note that Element Saurus gains a very powerful effect where it can negate any of the monsters that it destroys. And so Yomi's ship, when normally it can take down another monster, this time it gets negated. Here we can see our opponent is leaving their monsters in attack position, which is the most obvious trick in the book. He definitely has a mirror wall behind and wants us to attack. And although we already know this because we have so many dinos on the field, we are willing to trade and do that attack to get rid of the mirror wall and then wait until next turn where we can attack again. Also, we just drew a trap jammer, and you can see how useful this card can be. For instance, if we had drawn it just one turn sooner, we would have been able to negate that mirror wall and pretty much win the duel at this point. At this point, because we have a mirror wall on the field, and because the opponent's monster is too high attack for us to attack head on, my plan was actually to get him to attack us in defense position so that he would lose the 300 life points and we would win the duel. Let's see how this plan worked out. And our opponent falls right into it, takes down the damage to himself, and we end up winning. So there you have it, another win using the Dino deck at the King of Games rank. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Please make sure to like and subscribe, it means a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video.